You're listening to the Luxe Lounge Podcast, the official podcast of Urban Luxe Real Estate. And now, here are your hosts, Joe and Dave.
Hey, this is Joe Pascali, owner of Urban Luxe Real Estate for our Luxe Lounge podcast. We're going to go kind of off the grid a little bit today, and we're going to talk about cars, coffee, and real estate in Arizona and how those all intertwine, because it is an amazing market here to be a car owner and to keep a car in Arizona. And I'm going to let our guests introduce themselves and get started.
Hello, guys. My name is Nick. We're here with my brother, Max. We're brand new at Urban Luxe Realty. I'm 24. My brother is just turned 23, and we're just recently starting our real estate careers. But one passion that we can both very much agree on is supercars, cars. So I know this is a bit different than the normal Urban Luxe podcast, but yeah, we're just going to talk some cars with you guys, and maybe bring in some real estate, some good places to go if you ever are in the Phoenix, Scottsdale area. And
we're going to talk about good car shows, differences coming from Washington, because we're both from northwest Washington. The differences in the car shows, the real estate here. We're going to talk about Dream Car Garage, and yeah, we're going to go from there. So Nick, let's start. What is the biggest difference in supercars shows and supercars in Scottsdale in general, coming from northwestern Washington?
Well, let me just honestly start by saying that, honestly, we have both spent a lot of time in Los Angeles, Beverly Hills, Orange County area, and
Newport Beach especially.
Yeah, and I would say that in the entire United States, Scottsdale and Beverly Hills have got to be the top two for supercar and just car culture. I know Florida can be in there. Washington was okay.
Yeah, Miami's got to be in there.
But no, guys.
So let's talk about that too, because like Joe was saying before we started the podcast, there are so many people that have a second home here. So they're from New York, or they're from the East Coast, or wherever.
Minnesota, Ohio, anywhere.
They could be from anywhere.
That's what a lot of people are here. They're snowbirds. This is the best place to have your second home and come out, get away, get in the sun. I mean, as you guys know, if you've been to the Phoenix, Scottsdale area, it's nice every day.
Yeah, it's nice every single day. I think the average sunshine per year is about 330 days, right?
Yeah.
Something around there.
Which is honestly the main reason we moved here from northern Washington, about 45 minutes up from Seattle. And wow, we're never looking back. I mean, this is just the best move, the best thing we could ever do.
The best area ever. And we have spent a lot of time in California, but I would choose Scottsdale and just the general Phoenix area.
No question.
Any day over California. California has the surfing and everything.
But we're getting we're getting a wave pool here in Scottsdale in 2022, 2023.
Yeah, we're gonna be surfing a lot. We're gonna get fellow realtor Tyler Davis at Urban Luxe. He's a big time surfer too. We've all been to Costa Rica and gone surfing for a surf trip, and so all three of us are gonna be out there.
And we can bring real estate into this a little bit, because I know this is obviously a real estate podcast, but I just like to say, if anyone is ever considering coming to Urban Luxe or using Urban Luxe, guys, this brokerage is seriously amazing. We're looking for a brokerage with just a good family feel, where it just seems like nobody here is competing against each other. They're all working to build each other up and make each other as successful as possible. So huge thanks to Joe, Dave, Sierra, Julie. You guys are the best, and we're so excited for this real estate journey and putting in a good 15, 20 years or more in this.
Yeah. We'll just see how long the career goes. But if anyone hasn't seen Urban Luxe or hasn't heard of it, if you have ever been to Old Town Scottsdale, Urban Luxe has got to be in the best location we both think of all time
in the country.
It's for everything. We think it is the best location right at the roundabout in Old Town Scottsdale, right south of Fashion Square, about 1 minute 30 seconds from Fashion Square, I would say. About
those rolling party bars driving by all the time, Segway tours all the time, bird
let's just talk about what we see here.
Every 5 minutes, there's a Ferrari, a Rolls Royce, something driving by. You can never not be entertained, even on a Tuesday afternoon.
Yeah, so Nick and I both being extremely into supercars, I would say it is heaven right here where Urban Lux's office is located.
No question.
Yeah, being right at the roundabout. I don't think we could possibly come into work, even on a cloudy, rainy day, if that even were to happen here in Scottsdale, and not see something amazing. So every single day we're here, we see a Ferrari or a Rolls Royce or a Lamborghini Urus.
Not just just several.
Several.
Yeah.
So even yesterday was March 13th?
Yesterday was Sunday, so
March 14th.
definitely a peak day, but what did we see just yesterday?
But not the nicest day ever. It was all right. It was
Cloudy.
actually kind of cold and cloudy, and I still saw a white F12. I'm gonna go ahead and say it was a bad spec. It was white with all blue accents. Bad taste, but
white's good, but the blue accents.
Good. But see, let's bring the people moving here back into the conversation, because this F12 had Montana plates. Now, we noticed not every single, but so many people that have a house in another state, but buy their second home here in Arizona, they all have Montana plates.
Even if you live here. I mean, if you have money and you're buying things like really nice cars, you're really smart to have Montana plates, because Montana or Oregon, because there's no sales tax. So let's say you buy $1 million car, which I know 0.005% of people can do that. They are getting $100,000 off just by putting it on Montana plates.
Yes, and they're getting $100,000 off, or technically we would just say saving $100,000.
Exactly.
They're saving $100,000, but yeah. So a lot of people here, they have their second home, and obviously it's sunny, like we said, about 330 days on average, I think, per year. So that's why people buy nice luxury and expensive cars right here in Scottsdale or just the surrounding areas, because of, one, the weather, and I'd say two, just the location in general, all the car meets happening. Like, we come from an area where there'd be one car show, I would say every a couple months, maybe.
Less than 10 a year.
Yeah, so like Nick said, less than 10 car shows a year. None of them were that good. I think all the owners, if they do have supercars where we came from, were scared to bring them out to the shows.
There was a few Microsoft fellas there that would bring out some heavy hitters, but
yeah, see, in Seattle, we have Microsoft, we have Boeing, we have Starbucks.
Lots of stuff out of Seattle. Lots.
There's a few others we're probably missing, but lots of big corporations out of Seattle, which brings a lot of people moving to Seattle to work for those corporations that make a lot of money. A lot of those guys are the ones at supercar shows with their nice cars, but also a lot of them are afraid to even bring the car out to the show. I'd say most of the time, because
it could rain at any second.
Yeah, I mean, any day in Seattle could rain. Even if you wake up and it's pure blue skies and sunny, it could be raining at 2 p.m. So supercar shows there, I would say, are
and we're not hating on anyone who lives in Washington, Seattle area. It's still a great area. We just
it's still dear to our heart. We just we like this area much better. And when you're raised in the rain, you want to move to the sun. So,
and vice versa. Well, maybe not move to the rain, but
you want to.
I've talked to many people that love the rain, which honestly, I like the rain here because I don't know what it is about rain in the desert, but it just has that specific
good smell.
It has that smell.
It
smells so good.
It does. It smells so good. Like, it rained last week, and I remember we woke up at the house. I opened the front door to get in the car to come down to the office, and it smelled absolutely incredible, which in Washington, we didn't get that smell because it rains almost every single day. Maybe we were just used to it, but I think it's because it's so dry here. It's such a dry heat, and just everything is so dry in general that when it does rain and you wake up and you walk outside, the smell is just beautiful. It's like the rain freshened up all of Arizona at that point. So,
and you hear the dry heat thing a lot. So if you're ever talking to someone and they're like, yeah, it's 106 degrees here in Arizona, but it's a dry heat, and you're like, yeah, okay, like you're just trying to justify it. Guys, it really is a dry heat. Like it is nothing like, I think it's hotter when it's 85 degrees in Seattle than when it's 100 plus here, because it's so humid in those kind of states, and there is no humidity here. It's genuinely dry.
100%. I'd say
drink water.
Drink lots of water. If you're going on a hike, bring a big bottle of water. I'd say a 80-degree day even in Seattle is so much hotter than a 90-degree day here in Scottsdale. The humidity in Seattle is actually pretty high, and here there's no humidity. So
the hiking here
is beautiful.
It's great, guys.
Let's talk about that, Nick.
If you come in to Scottsdale, Phoenix, just the greater area, even up in Flagstaff, I mean, the hikes are so beautiful.
Sedona especially.
Yeah. I mean, and they're endless. I mean, we went to a trail the other day, and how many different trail options were just at the head of this one trail?
20. At
the very least.
20. Went with a fellow Urban Luxe agent, Tyler Davis, a very good friend of ours. All three of us went out and went on a little hike on our off day. So that's one thing we really like to do here, apart from going to supercar shows, apart from now working at Urban Luxe. We like to go on hikes. If you guys ever come, I highly recommend Pinnacle Peak, North Scottsdale. I'd say it's one of the most popular. I think Nick, Tyler, and I have all already been together 3 to 4 times. We just keep doing that one. So let's shift it over to a dream car garage, Nick.
Wow, it's a fast transition.
Super fast. I'm new to the podcast game, so
this is our first podcast, guys. So if this is embarrassingly bad, we're sorry, but deal with it.
Yeah, you heard Nick. If it's embarrassingly bad, deal with it.
Guys, I mean, for the next few minutes, we're just going to talk straight cars. So if you don't like cars, I mean,
then you might want to
click off this podcast. And I'd like to take this moment to promote a couple podcasts that we absolutely adore. Number one, Bigger Pockets podcast.
Bigger Pockets real estate. So that is real estate specific.
Shout out to those guys. So many good episodes, so many good tips to get our real estate journey going and investment journey.
Which we will be starting our investment journey very soon.
Yeah, I mean,
already kind of have.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know what to say. Maybe cut this one out as well.
No, that was pretty good. That was pretty good, except for just the very end. But yeah, Bigger Pockets, great podcast. We both listen to it. It actually motivates us to want to work harder. It motivates us to want to come into the office every single day and make money so that we can invest and own more properties when we're older. Other than real estate podcasts,
sometimes maybe Grant Cardone.
Yeah,
people could see him as a bit arrogant sometimes, but I mean, when you're a billionaire, you got to kind of understand it. Yeah.
Okay. Now, non-real estate related, we got to give a big shout out to our boy Sam at Seen Through Glass.
Behind the Glass podcast.
The Behind the Glass podcast.
Guys,
our British bloke over across the pond.
Guys,
a gent.
If you like cars and you're not listening to Behind the Glass podcast, I mean, what are you doing?
What are you doing? That is our, and we can't forget
Tony from Gravelwood Car Sales, which we're literally shouting out people from London, UK. So this probably isn't too useful, but
if you guys are listening to this and you're into supercars and you like listening to a British bloke talk about them because he has that charming voice, then you go ahead and you go to the Behind the Glass podcast. Okay, it is on Apple, it's on SoundCloud, Spotify. You can find it anywhere. Nick and I listen to it all the time. Driving down to the office, we'll listen to it. We'll either listen to Behind the Glass or we'll listen to Bigger Pockets.
Yeah, so it's either money and investing or cars for us.
That's what we're interested in. So
as Max isn't obsessed as I am, but I'm obsessed with Formula One. So they talk Formula One on that one. I could talk for hours, so.
And even Joe likes some Formula One.
Yeah. Even our main broker, Joe, he likes the Formula One. If you guys haven't seen Drive to Survive on Netflix, you could check that out. I don't really watch it because I'm so into the Formula One scene that it's a year behind on episodes. So, but yeah, if there is anyone out there in a million years who would like to just chat Formula One, go ahead and hit me up on Instagram, Nick Stretzel, STRIETZEL. Let's chat.
He'd love to chat. So we actually, before Nick and I were licensed and had our business cards, we were going to car shows right here in Scottsdale. And the amount of long conversations we ran into talking to people about either the cars at the car shows or cars in general, or Formula One, or even real estate. I remember one of the car shows, Nick talked to another British fellow for, I want to say...
I love my Brits.
Yeah, he does. I want to say a solid 2+ hours.
Yeah.
These guys talked about Formula One, I think maybe even a little real estate in there. And we were kicking ourselves because we were almost licensed, but we weren't yet. So we didn't have business cards or anything to hand out. But even just going to the car shows out here, we believe is a great conversation to... going to car shows it's great to have conversations, and then you can always bring real estate into it. And then
the people here are so nice. I noticed just more so than Seattle, and I honestly would blame it on seasonal depression.
Yep.
But I mean, guys, how could you be having that happy of a day when it's gloomy and rainy outside? I mean, I know I wasn't, but here, I mean, it's just so much more cheerful, and people are just more willing to talk. Maybe that's just because Max and I can talk for hours and hours.
Yeah.
Let's kind of intertwine some real estate with cars, since this is what this is about.
Let's get back to the cars.
Maybe some crazy garages we know of. We know of one in Scottsdale.
Okay.
Beautiful brick. What is it, like at least 10 car?
I'd say about 10 car garage. I got to give a quick shout out to my boy Trev Turk at Trev Turk on Instagram. My man is a photographer and a videographer, cinematographer, whatever you want to call it. He does it all. If any of you live in the area and you have a nice, expensive car, or even if you're getting married and you want your wedding shot, you hit up Trev Turk on Instagram. Mars Media LLC is his media page. He is the one that showed me this guy's house. This guy somewhere, we don't know, undisclosed location, has a 10-car garage, all brick background, and he does
only the heaviest of hitters.
The heaviest of hitters. Thank you. He has the holiest of grails, I would say. Go
in
ahead,
my
Nick.
eyes, the greatest car ever made.
Nick could talk about this car, I think, for 10 hours straight. Maybe not on the spot, but he could talk about it. So go ahead and tell him what we'll talk about the other things he has in the garage too. But go ahead.
Guys, honestly, no car in my eyes, especially in his garage, even gets close to the McLaren F1. If anybody knows about the McLaren F1, to this day, it's still the fastest naturally aspirated V12 ever built. And they started them in 91 and I believe ended in 98. I could be a year off on that. But they only built...
I think that is correct.
They only built 64 road-going versions. I know many of them have been completely totaled, so I'd say there's maybe high 50s of them left. And right now, they're upwards to $30 million. 3 seats. Driver sits in the middle.
Yep.
Manual transmission.
Yeah. And we have yet to see it, though.
I have yet to see one.
We are waiting for the day, and when we do see it, we are going to scream like 13-year-old girls at a Justin Bieber concert because it is that crazy.
I will be looking at it for until the moment it leaves. I mean, I will just stare at this car.
Nick might faint.
And caress all its angles until it leaves. I mean, guys, you don't even understand.
Guys,
and I know
this is a McLaren F1 we're talking about, okay?
And if, like I said, if you guys aren't into cars, you probably wouldn't have even made it this far into the podcast. But
if you have made it this far into the podcast, thank you for sticking with us.
Respect. Yeah. Honestly, what are we, like 15 minutes in, maybe?
20.
Wow.
We've been going. Well, I can't see the time, but
so let's just go ahead and rattle off what we think are the top 5 cars ever made each. I'm sure we might have 1 or 2 disagreements, but I think it'll be mostly the same.
No, let's before that, let's say Dream 5 car garage. And not even that, let's bring real estate into it. Where would you want we're still going to live in Arizona. Nick and I know we're going to live in Arizona probably for the rest of our lives. We think this is one of the best.
Most likely.
Yeah, we think this is one of the best locations. If it doesn't become
another Los Angeles.
Well said. But we're planning on staying here for the rest of our lives. So we are going to talk about our dream 5-car garage and also where our dream house, where it would be located and whatnot. So Nick, you can go ahead first.
Well, first I think we need to just moderate the prices, because if we're going to just say dream 5-car, I'm just going to go for the most expensive 5 cars.
We'll just say your dream 5-car, but first let's say the house. Where do you want your house to be?
Definitely Scottsdale, Paradise Valley, or the outskirts. Honestly, I'd probably prefer the outskirts just so I could have a warehouse full of cars. But yeah, no question. Scottsdale, Paradise Valley, DC Ranch, something like
North
that.
Scottsdale.
Yeah.
Maybe north.
Yeah, North Scottsdale.
Up towards Pinnacle Peak area.
And guys, if you haven't been to Kierland Commons, great place. Scottsdale Quarter, great place. But in Scottsdale Quarter and Kierland Commons touch each other. Soul Mexican Cocina. I know we're just Cochina. We're so off topic right now. I know, but
we're all over the place.
You guys, this restaurant is like, I have never had a better taco in my life. And yes, a taco can be $8 there, which is quite expensive. But
my taco's $13.
But 2 to 3, and 3, and you're just you can't eat anymore. But I mean, guys, get Soul and get the chicken vampiro specialty taco. I promise you will not regret it.
This actually plays in with cars a little bit too, because every single time we eat at Soul, we sit outside,
and it's just car spotting heaven,
and we see cars like crazy. But let's get back. So you would want a house in North Scottsdale,
yeah,
maybe Paradise Valley.
I'm hoping in the next this is an expensive area, if you know. So I'm hoping in the next 10 to 15 years I'm able to get just a house in that area.
Yeah, something in the zip
Not
code.
even a banger in that area, just a nice house in that area.
Okay, so now you got
garage, man.
Now you got a 5-car garage, and it can be whatever you want. So now this is going to be completely off.
This is going to be so hard for me, and I'll probably change my mind as soon as we're done recording this podcast. So take everything I say as a grain of salt. But
and by the way, spec too. And guys, spec means specification. That is the color scheme that you're working with. That has to do with exterior, wheels,
the visual looks
interior,
of the vehicle.
Nick and I are firm believers of good, solid, clean specs. That means one solid color on the exterior, and that means one solid color on the interior. We don't like lots of colors. We like clean and classic. So go ahead. Nick and I have this conversation, I'd say, about once a month anyway, to see what each other are feeling. Color combinations, cars that we're feeling. So let's go. Nick said he wants a house in Paradise Valley or North Scottsdale, and this would be his 5-car garage in the house.
So I'm going to be somewhat realistic with this, guys. I'm not going to give you the $30 million McLaren F1 type spiel.
Thank you.
But
that is too unrealistic.
Number one, which I think we can both very much agree on, is the best supercar for your money. Performance, sound, experience, everything is the Porsche GT3 RS.
Yes.
No question. This is a huge motivating factor in what Max and I are working for. And guys, I guarantee you, we will own them one day.
One day.
I promise you.
One day when we're 40 and everyone else at the brokerage is, I don't even know how old. Let's just say they're grandparents by then.
They're 150.
Yeah. They're grandparents. I'm gonna buy that GT3 RS, and I'm gonna call up Joe, Dave, and Sierra, and I'm gonna take them all for a joyride.
You guys, we're youngsters in this brokerage.
Yeah, we are the youngest. So Nick, Tyler, and myself are all the youngest.
Tyler is no question the youngest. He just turned 20 years old. Like Max and I said, Max is 23 and I'm 24, and the rest of the brokerage is very much above the age of 35, I believe.
There could be some younger people in here too, but
like I said, everyone here is so great, and I love every single one of them. No, I haven't met a single person that I even hardly disapprove of. Yeah.
Everyone here
amazing.
is friendly. Yeah, no competition. Everyone just wants everyone to succeed, which is also a big reason why we picked Urban Lux. After hearing Tyler Davis, our fellow realtor, he had gone to several different brokerages when he had first moved to Arizona to figure out which one he wanted to be in or wanted to work at, and he said he had chose this one because of the family feel. It is no competition. Everyone just wants everyone to succeed. We're all friends here. It's just a good environment to be in. So it was an easy decision for Nick and I to choose here.
Joe, if you're listening, you rock, man.
Yeah, Joe, you're the best, and I hope you hear
Dave,
this.
if you're listening, I hope you're having a good time in Hawaii.
Yeah, Maui.
Yes, amazing island. We've been there.
Love Maui.
Many times.
Yeah, I'd
Great
say
place.
7 to 8. So
we should also talk a little bit of travel too.
Yeah, but we still need to finish our dream car garage.
So like I said,
see guys, we're new to the podcast
Like I
thing.
said-
We can get off topic every 3 minutes. So
like I said, number one is the GT3 RS. Just price and everything. You can get a brand new one right now for $220,000.
yeah,
What is that, like 160,000 pounds ish?
but we don't need to bring pounds into it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just car talk. You got to bring in the pounds in there as well.
What are you feeling as of right now? What are you feeling for spec and then 5-car garage? So you're feeling the
spec,
GT3 RS.
I don't think the spec really. Yeah, GT3 RS.
Well, let's just say broad spec. Okay,
and
yeah.
just white.
Okay.
Just white with silver wheels.
Okay, and the interior.
Just black, all
Okay.
black. And then
So that's first.
one car that I've always lusted after is a manual. It has to be a manual, gated manual Murcielago.
Yeah.
I mean, if you guys want to hear just music to your ears, look up Murcielago with exhaust on
Specifically IPE exhaust, Inatech
almost
Performance
just
exhaust.
any, straight pipe any.
It is 1980s F1 or 1990s F1 sounds coming out of that.
Yeah, we got Murcielago manual, GT3 RS,
And what specs the Mercy?
any.
Okay.
I mean, probably not yellow or green, even though
something classy.
I don't mind those colors, but I like cars in colors that they're not supposed to be. So if you guys, I think many people know, even people who aren't into cars, Ferraris are most of the time red. So I would want my Lamborghini to be red and my Ferrari to be the opposite of that. So yeah, maybe like red. And then we had a white GT3 RS.
So we have white GT3 RS. We have a probably a red Murcielago manual.
Yeah. And then I know this is a bit heavy, but I'm going to go Porsche Carrera GT.
It's all right.
Any color.
Yeah.
Any spec at all.
Yeah. One of the most dangerous cars in the entire world, for those who don't know. It's the last naturally aspirated manual Porsche.
V10.
V10.
Incredible sound.
But
I'm picking all the best sounding cars, by the way, if you guys haven't really.
Yeah. What I forgot to add is it's the last naturally aspirated manual mid-engined V10. Rear-wheel drive, one of the most dangerous cars. Paul Walker actually died in it. Rest in peace, Paul Walker.
Rest in peace, my man.
Rest in peace, Paul Walker.
I still remember that day. What, 2013 now?
Yeah. So Nick would get this car. He would not drive it aggressively. He would have to take it.
I actually, right when we moved here, we were right here in Old Town Scottsdale, and I spotted one from
right next to the brokerage,
200 yards away, and I screamed, and I sprinted after him, and somehow, some way, he parked right where in my path. I can't even talk. He parked right in our path.
He's parked right in front of us.
And him and his wife got out, and they were so nice to us. Normally, people running up wanting to talk to you about your car, they'd probably just be like, get out of here, I'm trying to go eat. He was so nice. I think it was the fact that I told him the exact color of the exterior and interior of his car, and he was quite impressed.
I think we almost knew more about his own car than he knew himself.
Oh, I don't know about that. This guy,
but we knew
raced Porsche. He was a really good guy.
He knew we were very knowledgeable about the subject and about the specific car in general. So.
And he let us sit in it. So that was incredible. And he said that even him, who raced Porsches all through his life with his brother, he lost control of it around Scottsdale area and almost crashed it. He spun it out. So it's that dangerous of a car.
By the way, he lost control of it only going about 40 miles an hour. So it is a very dangerous car. He lost a little bit of control on Scottsdale Road, but...
Okay, I'm just going to rifle through the next two. So we got Carrera GT, Porsche GT3 RS, Murcielago manual.
Yep.
And then I'm just going to...
But you didn't say the Carrera GT is what, silver?
Oh, if I could have any, I'd have that orange one.
Okay. So,
but guys, I'd take silver with brown leather. I don't care.
Guys, there is one, right? One.
I believe there's two, but there's one originally painted in this color, I believe.
There is one orange Carrera GT in the entire world.
Like metallic, creamy orange. It's just
beautiful.
Gorgeous.
Beautiful. So that would be in the garage.
And then the last two, I'm just going to rifle them. It's just the Ferrari F40 and the Ferrari LaFerrari.
Okay.
I mean, I know, guys. I just named like
heavy hitters,
a $7 million garage of all of them together. But
yeah,
this is just a podcast, so
we're just talking brother to brother.
Care.
So
yeah. So I wish Tony and Sam from Behind the Glass heard this, because they would probably disagree with me.
And they would disagree.
But GT3 RS, Murcielago, Porsche Carrera GT, F40 LaFerrari. Those are just the greatest. And then
by the way, we have seen every single one of those here except for the F40. That's how amazing
Yes.
Scottsdale is.
F50
We will see it one day. Tyler, our friend Tyler, just saw the F50 2 days ago. He actually went to a car show right here in Old Town Scottsdale at 4 till 4, coffee shop and cafe. Nick and I actually did not go because we ended up coming into the office early morning to do some floor time. But we will see an F40 soon.
If you just want to drive 15 minutes down the street in Scottsdale, you will see a brand new Ferrari F8 Tributo. You will see multiple Mercedes AMGs.
Multiple Rolls Royces.
You'll see multiple Bentleys, multiple Rolls Royces, a McLaren. You'll see a Lamborghini.
Lots of Lamborghini Uruses.
Guys, so many Lamborghini Uruses. I mean, it's insane.
For those who don't know, a Lamborghini Urus is the SUV Lamborghini. It's a 5.2 liter naturally aspirated V10, I believe.
No, I don't believe it's a V10. I think it's actually a V8, but I could be incorrect.
I think it is the 5.2 liter naturally aspirated V10.
If there's anyone listening who knows more than us, you're going to think we're absolute idiots, but yeah.
We're car nerds, so
Coolest SUV.
we could get deep into it. But okay, so now I'll get onto my dream 5-car garage and house location. So
House location, I imagine, is almost exactly the same.
yeah, I don't even actually need to get into house location because it would be the same as Nick's. It would be somewhere in Paradise Valley or North Scottsdale. Preferably a very modern house with at least a 6 to 8 car garage.
Max likes the modern houses. I'm more of into the modern farmhouse, warm woods with whites with plants everywhere vibe.
Yeah, Nick likes the cozy feel.
Max likes the stainless Tony Stark.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Iron Man, like an Iron Man house.
Yeah. So I think, obviously, we both think we have better taste on that, but I think
That's just what I prefer.
Exactly.
So, my dream 5-car garage, as of right now, and I talk to Nick about this all the time, but I might switch it up a little bit. And this is right off the top of the head. This is not planned. I'm just going to go with the flow because I do change my mind a lot.
Let's hear it, Chief.
First car, and Nick already knows this one's coming, a Ferrari 458 Speciale. Naturally aspirated V8. Actually, the last naturally aspirated V8 from Ferrari. Amazing sound. Would need an IPE exhaust so it could really scream. Sitting right at around 350,000, I would say.
And going back to Seoul, Mexican Cocina or Cochina in Scottsdale, we've been there a few times, and 458 Speciales have
driven
absolutely
by.
ripped by.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Great place.
Once again, this place, second to none to Beverly Hills, maybe Miami.
Yeah, I would say those three. Scottsdale,
Miami,
Beverly Hills, Miami.
Scottsdale. Yeah. We just both said them at the same time. I'm sorry, guys, but
we're new to the podcast game. My first car would be 458 Speciale. It would probably be white, no stripes. I'm just going to rip through them.
always stripeless.
Always stripeless.
Guys, Ferraris with stripes. I mean, are you a 12-year-old child? I mean, come on. Get it without stripes. Be classy with it. Come on.
Yeah, we like the clean look. Stripes kind of makes it look more like a Hot Wheel, so we like to steer away from the kid Forza spec.
Yeah, exactly. This isn't Need for Speed or Forza. This is real life. Even though we're way too broke at the moment to buy these cars real life.
But one day.
One day, guys.
One day.
Mark my words.
Yeah, one day. So 458 Speciale, white, stripeless, first car. Second car, and Nick's going to disagree. I would say a 488 Pista. Also stripeless, very similar.
See, now you just named basically the successor to the 458. So you just named two. So in your 5-car garage, you're getting basically the same car twice.
Yeah, I am. But
right.
You know, I'm a big Ferrari guy. I love the look of them. I love the sound of them. So I would have to get that. Third car, and this might be a little curveball. Rolls-Royce Cullinan. Lots of them here in Scottsdale, by the way.
Love it.
Lots of them. We see them all over North Scottsdale, South.
So Max, have you finished your 5-car list before we wrap this up? Because guys, we got to get off of here. We've been gone over our time limit.
Two left. Okay, so I had the 458 Speciale, stripeless, 488 Pista, stripeless, Rolls-Royce Cullinan, preferably a deep dark blue, and then I'm gonna have to go F40 and LaFerrari, just like you did. So
yeah, guys, two of the best. All right, guys. Well, we got to get off. We ran a little bit over our time limit, but
it was really fun.
We'll be sure to be back on here next week, and hopefully we can talk a little bit more real estate for you guys, for the people who care about real estate and not so much cars. But we had a lot of fun recording this one, and thank you so much for listening if you're still here. And have a great day, guys.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Luxe Lounge Podcast, the official podcast of Urban Luxe Real Estate, located in Old Town Scottsdale, Arizona. If you'd like to support the show, please give us a 5-star review on your podcast player of choice, follow the show on Instagram, or subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you have questions for Joe and Dave, feel free to write in to luxloungepod@gmail.com. We may talk about your question on the show. If you would like to learn more about Urban Luxe Real Estate, please visit our website, urbanluxre.com, for more information. This podcast was produced by T-Door Productions. Intro music by Doug Maxwell. Outro music by Track Tribe.